follow the skylift, follow the Valkyrie, follow the helicopter, follow Jeff's wife.
Monster he could turn into.
I'm not gonna change on you.
It just doesn't make sense to me. What?
Follow the helicopter again. Follow the skylift again. Tailing missions are for movies, not video games. The Grand Theft Auto series isn't the only one that falls victim to these though. There's many others like the Assassin's Creed series, but I played GTA, so that's what I'm going to talk about. Now when it comes to GTA, not all tailing missions are bad. Just 90% of them are. And I can see why Rockstar is so obsessed with them though. On paper, they look like a great way to break up some of the repetitive action in the story and keep it feeling fresh. That way not every single mission in order is just shooting galleries. And in movies, tailing scenes are perfectly fine. We get to listen to important dialogue that furthers the story, see the character's strengths and weaknesses. And I can't ever say I was annoyed at a movie because of a tailing scene. But in video games, they just look and play out ridiculously. Perfectly normal behavior. That's perfectly normal behavior. Nothing's wrong. Just a drug dealer here. That's perfectly normal behavior. No, what are you talking about? That's normal behavior. What? Oh no, it's Nico! Honking my horn from any distance instantly fails the mission, which would make sense if also crashing into everything, stopping in the middle of the street for seemingly no reason, doing burnouts, shooting at people, and even blowing up cars did too. But it doesn't. That's all normal behavior to this guy. But someone honking their horn in New York City traffic, obviously that's a hitman. But my biggest problem with tailing missions aren't how unrealistic or stupid they are, but the lack of freedom. A perfect example of this is GTA 3's Cutting the Grass. In this mission, we have to tail Curly Bob to the Portland Harbor. Now you can get in a car, wait outside the club, and slowly follow the cab, making sure not to get too close and spook Curly Bob, or you can steal your own taxi, park outside of the club, and wait for him to enter. And look at that. The game now tells us to drive him to the harbor. And the entire time, the game never hinted or told me that I can drive him there myself. I wouldn't know this unless I've actually tried it, seen someone else do it, or just happened to be waiting outside with a taxi because it was the closest car to me. Snail Trail is a similar mission in San Andreas. You have to follow the train all the way from San Fierro to Vinewood, then wait for the target to get off the train and get into a taxi and then follow the taxi. But for some reason in this mission, you can't drive him in the taxi like you could in GTA 3. He refuses to get in. He is scripted to get into that one and only taxi right there. And while the game tries its hardest to make sure that you don't get in the train and the train takes off before you can get on it, if you're fast enough, you can actually hop in the train while it's moving and skip half the mission. But when we follow the train in GTA 4, it's even more scripted and on rails. If you don't take the exact route the game expects you to, Nico loses the train and fails the mission. Even though it's just a train that is on a railroad track that can only go one way, I guess Nico doesn't realize that and loses the train and gives up. And the train takes off as soon as you get near it, so there's no way possible to ride the train like you could in Snail Trail. And now we've arrived at GTA Online. While tailing missions are annoying in single player and sometimes have their place, tailing missions should not be in any online game. This is the weapons prep for the Cayo Perico heist. It's RNG based, so you'll either get the 707 Vespucci job, which is great, or the dreaded Merryweather HQ mission. The Merryweather HQ prep is such a wasted opportunity. We're supposed to go down to the docks, then tail a Valkyrie across the entire map to where the weapons are being held. Of course, Rockstar intentionally programmed the AI to fly as slow as possible. If you own a Valkyrie, you know it goes much faster than this. And of course, you can't just steal it and drive straight to the location and go on to steal the weapons. You're a little baby that needs to follow Rockstar's instructions. Now, I say this is a wasted opportunity because they could have given us so many options. Now, I'm no game designer, but I have a few different ideas for this mission. We could run to the docks, disguise ourselves as Merryweather, steal the helicopter, and from that point on, we now have the location of the weapons. So now we can hop out of the helicopter, drive straight there, and take the weapons, or we can stay in the helicopter, fly down to the drop point, land our helicopter, blend in with Merryweather, and take the weapons without anyone even realizing that we're not Merryweather, and do it completely stealth. That would have given us at least 3 different ways to complete this mission instead of just the one that Rockstar wants you to. Thankfully, in the newest tailing mission added in the Tuners update, we can just kill the hacker and grab his wallet to find out where he lives instead of tailing him to his apartment. So not all tailing missions are terrible even in the modern day, but they're certainly a long ways off from GTA 3, I'll tell you that. In GTA 3, this mission makes me feel good and makes me think, I love this game. Rockstar is the greatest developer of all time. Meanwhile, this mission makes me feel like fucking Rockstar purposely making them fly slow to make my grind for $1 million cars even longer, trying to make me say fuck it and buy a shark card. Fuck you, Rockstar, I'm not gonna buy a shark card. And I don't want to feel that way. But you make me feel that way, Rockstar, with your shitty design. Especially when you've shown that you know how to design a mission properly and you just choose not to. So to conclude this video, tailing missions suck and I hate them. And not just in the Grand Theft Auto series. I don't care what game it is. Stop putting tailing missions in our games. Leave them to Hollywood.